All right, every pony, let's go. It's time for another sketch.
What the hell's gotten into you? Why y'all so naturally excited about this?
Yeah, usually your only contributions to our talks are snarky one-liners and bitching and moaning.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be going back to that soon enough. But I just wanted to lighten our mood a little, given the happy circumstances we find ourselves in.
Well, that's awfully nice of you. If we would also know what the fuck you're even talking about, maybe we could also appreciate it.
Well, what I mean is this new episode. Because we are finally done and finished with that meaningless, stupid-ass candle or club plot. Maybe now we can do something again that actually matters.
You know, I really don't like this negative energy here. Sure, that plot wasn't particularly exciting, but it was important to our friend. And that means it was also important to me.
Oh yes, one of the many advantages it brings to be friends with ponies. Moral obligation keeping you hostage and forcing you to deal with someone's shit. But we all did our job as friends and said it out. So I think the least you could do is say thank you, Fancy Pants. Or you could just ignore me like a complete asshole. Ahem, I'm talking to you, Fancy Pants. Fancy Pants? Hello? Rarity!
What? What are you yelling at me now?
What else was he supposed to do? Y'all just treating her like air. What the fuck was that about? You now think you're too high above us or what?
Oh, you were talking to me, Twilight. Oh, I see. That's why you went wrong.
Where I went wrong?
Yes, but to be fair, I did not yet announce this change to you, so you are forgiven. Now, I came to realize that after I was named the new Fancy Pants, this has happened to me more than once already. Someone would approach me and call me by my title, and I wouldn't react at all. Fancy Pants isn't my name, after all. And I kind of hadn't thought of that in my striving for this position. That once I had it, all the club members would only address me as Fancy Pants. And how difficult it would be for me to remember that. Which is why I decided that I would find an alternate solution.
I swear, if you say that you're gonna step down from that position again after wasting so much of our time together, I'm gonna fucking kill you, no cap.
No, don't be ridiculous. This title is the greatest honor a noble pony could ever receive. One does not simply put down the title of Fancy Pants. Instead, I just changed the statutes of the CCC and made it so the title of the club's leader is no longer Fancy Pants, but instead Rarity.
Are you serious? Man, Pinky was just making an exaggerated joke when she was talking about your psychotic narcissism. But apparently she was spot on.
Oh, please, Twilight, that you of all ponies try to make an issue of this. You know better yourself. Or does any pony ever address you as princess anymore?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes, some still do. And even if they didn't, that is something completely different.
No, it's not.
It is, Rael. Let's not even go there. Like, Twilight never went so far as to have the word princess be changed to her fucking name.
But you know what? That sounds kind of funny. Maybe I might. Just for the heck of it.
See, girls? Twilight is on my side in this.
I was being sarcastic, Rarity.
Like hell you were.
Okay, you know what? I don't even know why I'm still discussing this with you. Shouldn't by now that totally unscripted event have happened that gets us to the next topic?
Ooh, I think there it is! Twitch a tail!
Oh, fuck me.
Watch out above! Yeah. God, I hate it when Robotus does this. One of those times someone's gonna get seriously hurt by that.
Yeah. Though, wait a minute. It wasn't Robotus who dropped this. Look!
Huh, well, I'll be damned. It's Derpy. We ain't seen her ever since the show ended.
Is her name not actually Muffins?
No, it's not. Fuck you, Hasbro.
Wow, that's really an unexpected cameo. You think she'd want to join us?
Maybe, but it doesn't make a difference, honestly. Look, she's already flown away.
Man, really? That's a shame. I would have really liked to see what she was like in real life. Would have been interesting to see her real self outside of Friendship is Magic.
Not really. Knowing Robotus, she would probably be just as uncommonly crude and hostile as we are.
Well, honestly, it doesn't surprise me at all that she's gone already. In true Friendship is Magic fashion, she's also nothing but a background pony in this series.
Let's be real, she's probably a background pony even in her own life. Some ponies are simply born to be overlooked.
Okay, so since Derpy doesn't fucking matter to this episode, what was the package she dropped?
Oh, it's letters. What the hell? Why are there just some letters in this huge-ass box? What's the point of that?
Well, I guess the point was so that it would be heavy enough to trigger my twitchy tail. Silly.
Sure. Who are the letters from, Twilight?
They're from... Oh, this one's from Cozy Glow. And this one from Trixie. Wow, we haven't seen them in forever.
Yeah. Even ignoring that 1 year pause of new content on the Robotus channel. So what are they up to, Twi? Are the letters gonna read themselves out loud again like they always do?
I'm pretty sure Trixie's will. But Cozy, I'm not so sure about.
Let's just put it to the test, shall we?
My meanest of 6.
Mystery solved.
Okay, but what the fuck did she say there? Meanest of 6? She's gotta be doing that on purpose by now, doesn't she?
No doubt about it. Now then.
In light of the prolonged nature of my absence of this series, I came to think in recent days that an update to my former colleagues may be of appropriation. I write to you to convey a message of both joy and sorrow. As it is often with new opportunities, they come at a cost. And for myself, this has proven to be sans exception. I hereby declare to you my departure from the Robotus sketch series. What? For good and ever. I shall always hold the memories of old times in highest regard, but as of now, I have outgrown them. I have found a new and indefinitely more respectable calling in the endeavors of our common associate Darrow Raptor. His first theatrical release was such an overwhelming success throughout all of Equestria that he wanted to swiftly ride this wave into his expanded cinematic universe. In order to serve this goal, I was asked to move directly to Applewood so that in the meanest of time the shoots for the Murderwell series can commence. On top of that, I can also bestow on you news of my private projects. I've gotten into contact with a Bridalway producer and was able to pitch to them my personal version of Pony Hamlet.
Bridalway? Fuck is that?
Well, it's the equestrian version of real-life Broadway.
Seriously? That's its fucking name? Hell, it disgusts me to say this, but Robotus came up with such a better pun. Trotway. It even sounds similar.
Thanks, Rainbow. Now I will forever hate the fact that the series chose an inferior name.
You and the rest of Ponyville shall forever know my gratitude, for it was you and your sketches that aided the steep jumpstart to my career. Yet, as harsh as it may sound, my dependency on thee has expired. I am ready to move on to greater plains. I bid you all the fairest of wells, and wish upon you an equal luck in finding your own life's goals. Forever gratefully yours, Cozy Glow.
Huh. So, I guess we've seen the last of her.
Well, that is indeed a shame. I, for one, always appreciated the presence of a pony who could match my own verbal pretensions.
At least now we know why the fuck we haven't seen her in like a year. And what about Trixie?
The way I see it, it's actually addressed to Starlight Glimmer. What do you say? Should we maybe, get her or something? Or do we just read the letter anyways?
I don't think this is even a question, Twilight.
True. Alright then, here goes.
My dear Glimglam.
Whew, already off to a great start.
What's with all the static noise? I can only understand every second word she says.
I don't know. Must be the cheap recycled paper she wrote on.
Since I haven't heard from you ever since Maya and Brayburn's wedding, I wanted to reach out to you again. I know you're always interested in what I'm doing when we're not together, so here's a quick summary. Be prepared though, because there's been quite a lot happening in the meantime. First of all, I wanted to apologize for my sudden decision to move to Appaloosa after marrying, and I hope that you can understand my position, but it just made more sense this way. It did take me some getting used to, but by now, this place almost feels like home. Especially since I set my plan in motion to make some necessary adjustments. You might remember what I told you about my Operation Romeo and Juliet. Well, I did put it into action. I managed to convince Brayburn that we were both secretly frowned upon by every pony because since I'm trans age and identify as a 4-year-old, he's practically a pedo. The world is simply too ageist to accept our true love. But in front of God, all love is equal. So I wanted me and him to move on from this world and into a greater plane of existence where we could live freely and happily ever after. And with Brayburn now tragically passed away, I as his widow and the one true ruler of my new city, Trixie Lusa.
Gee, that escalated quickly.
For real? Since when is Trixie such a cold-blooded killer?
Honesty does make the most sense. Why else would a mayor like her throw in with a bozo like Brayburn? No offense, Applejack.
I mean, it's not like you're wrong. None taken.
That name change, however, is a legit war crime in my opinion.
Ahem. May the letter continue?
Promptly I turned this place into something more fitting to me. Trixie Lusa is now the Las Pegasus of the South. The whole city has been turned into basically one giant casino. Let me tell you, the amount of money coming in is insane. Now I know what you're gonna tell me. Trixie, why did you do that? Was it really necessary to kill your husband and become a Black Widow? Well, in all honesty, it was. Brayburn had it coming either way. Don't forget that it was his case of ponypox he brought in that caused Little Strongheart and all the other buffaloes to die out. Plus, he had the audacity to say that he was gonna honor Little Strongheart and her kind by producing a rendition of Pony Hondas.
Okay, that last one seriously went too far. I was gonna say like she was only justifying her own lust for power, but that is just too offensive.
Especially considering there ain't no buffaloes left, so any actor involved in this would be committing whitewashing.
Yeah, even I can't really defend him there. I did always find him really irritating ever since I met him on that train, and this now hammers in for me that some ponies apparently do deserve what happens to them.
Damn. You know you done fucked up when even Pinky's saying that you deserve to die.
Trixie Lusa, as well as the great and now single Trixie, are better off without him. But not without you, if I'm honest. What do you say? You maybe want to come visit me in Trixie Lusa? I always enjoy visits from just friends. And even if you might decide to stay, that's no problem at all. I just happen to have a spare room in my house. So, if you'd like, you could come live with me. As flatmates, of course, after all, we'd just be two platonic friends living together.
Who is she even trying to convince right now? The viewer, Starlight, or herself? Can any pony here remember when that joke was actually funny? Yeah, me neither.
I am looking forward to hearing from you, Glimglam. Loving friendship, Trixie.
Well, I guess now we know what became of those two. To be completely honest, I was half expecting this episode to reveal that Trixie and Cozy both just died off-screen. Wouldn't be a first in this series.
Except Prince Blueblood, for example, was never heard of until the episode that confirmed his death. In this case, they at least had somewhat of a record in the sketches.
So we're really gonna take that from those letters. How unsurprising it is that they weren't just killed off.
Well, why not? What else should we take from this?
I don't know, how about like them really fucking unhealthy parallels I'm seeing?
Parallels? Between what?
Between the fact that Trixie turned Appaloosa into a casino! And given that the buffaloes are Equestria stand-in for Indians, isn't it a mighty coincidence that the city built on their land ended up as a fucking casino?
I see what you mean. But speaking for Robotus right now, that really was just a coincidence. The worrisome similarities about this whole thing he only noticed afterwards.
And in typical Robotus fashion, instead of changing the part that might be troublesome, he instead just lampshades it. Because everybody knows that pointing out your own flaws instantly excuses you of them and frees you to just keep going.
Why the sarcastic tone, Twilight? It must be true. Otherwise, lampshading wouldn't be such an overused trope at this point.
Speaking of overused tropes, this episode just doesn't want to end naturally, does it? Hey, Pinky, you maybe want to do your thing and spare us the rest?
My thing? Oh, right, that fourth wall stuff. Sure. Swoosh.